Yo, what up gang, Arie here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing a video from Founder Magazine titled How I Made $1 Million in a Day on Shopify. This is a mini viral video that Founder Magazine posted on a girl named Greta van Riel, who's the founder of multiple seven-figure Shopify stores. So today we're just going to unpack this video and see what we can learn together. And at the end, drop a comment if you learned something. I definitely think I'm going to learn at least one or two things that I can apply to my brand. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hey guys, Greta here, and today I am going to be chatting with you about what led to me doing a $1 million revenue day for one of my 4 multi-million dollar e-commerce brands.
4 multi-million dollar e-commerce brands. That's goals. $1 million in a day, that's crazy. Skinny Me Tea, Drop Bottle, The Fifth Watches, and
So this was for my second e-commerce brand, The Fifth Watches. By this point, I had been in e-commerce with my first brand, Skinny Me Tea, for 3 years. It was December 2014. I remember we received the watches the 2nd or 3rd of December, and we were like, well, we're called The Fifth. We may as well wait until the 5th to launch. And we're like, yeah, sounds good. At this point, we were just going to be selling our watches every day. And we launched the brand. We had around 70,000 Instagram followers on Instagram when we launched, which was like a really large following at the time and now. And
yeah, that's actually crazy.
Get back to you on how we went about growing that following, but at the time, yeah, we launched.
That's good. I was gonna say, like, what? That's such an unfair advantage if you already have 70,000 active followers, but I guess she'll cover how she got that, so definitely stay till the end here. I don't even know what to expect, but that's a huge advantage. If you can actually build the community before you launch your product, that's a 1,000 IQ move right there. She's a boss. I guess let's see how she did that.
Launched, we had about 70,000 Instagram followers. We had about 8,800 people signed up to our wait list. We went live and we ended up selling out of all of our stock on the first day of sales. So we had like, I think 1,200 watches to sell. So we did over $100,000 in revenue on the first day of sales. And it was actually my co-founder Alex's birthday as well. So pretty sure it was like his best birthday ever. But the issue was that now we were sold out of watches, and our followers and our subscribers, the people on our wait list, had already been waiting for like a couple of months as we were kind of building our following and building a bit of hype around the brand while we were going through the manufacturing process. So they'd been waiting a couple of months and people were getting pretty fed up with waiting, and we're like, uh-oh, now everyone is kind of going to hate our brand. They're not even going to, they're not going to wait around and buy from us. Like, we've lost, those 7,000 people.
I mean, I guess I see why she would feel that way, but at the same time, me being in that position, if I just launched and I sold out and had a 100K day, that would be a pretty good sign that I'm doing something right. So I would be more so excited that the next launch is going to be even bigger. I mean, building up hype is actually pretty powerful. Look at Supreme. They just sold for $1 billion, and that's basically the whole thing behind their brand. It's just building up hella hype. But I guess we'll see. Well, we'll let her explain her side of the story here. I don't know anything, so let's see.
We may as well just start over and start waiting, building the next kind of list for the next launch. And then we kind of sat down and workshopped it out. So I remember we were in the kitchen and we were talking it out, and I was like, oh, well, we're called The Fifth. We launched on the 5th. We sold out in, yes, a day, but what if we sent an email out to the rest of the people that missed out saying, okay, we're called The Fifth, and little did you know, or well, actually even we know, that at The 5th, we only sell our watches on the 5th of each month for 5 days or until sold out previously. So it's really important that you're on our wait list, because it means you'll be notified first when we're back in stock again next month on the 5th, because we already actually had our second round of product pre-ordered, because once we got to that many signups and that many followers on Insta, we were like, we realized about a month out before that, because it was about a 2-month lead time to get the watches, we realized, oh, we better order a bit more stock. We only have, this amount and this many people are waiting. We ended up actually ordering that. So we were going to get the watches like in another 3.5 weeks or something. We were like, okay, well, makes sense. Now we can say that. So that actually ended up accidentally becoming the kind of central unique value proposition of the entire brand. It helped position us in the market. Whereas before that, we were just like these cool, minimal watches. Now we were exclusive, and now we were focusing a lot on scarcity, and that's driving a lot of perceived value for our brand as well. Because traditionally, a lot of designer items are exclusive because they're expensive. That $4,000 handbag is exclusive because not that many people can afford it. Therefore, not that many people have it, and that adds the exclusivity and increases perceived value. We were exclusive because we were only available for a limited amount of time. So that limited sales model not only increased the exclusivity, but it increased demand through scarcity as well. And we had a really, really strong, compelling reason to have to sign up during the month. So basically, for 25 days a month, we would be collecting leads or emails, any way that we could kind of notify our customer that we were going to launch or go live. So we would do things like send out calendar invites. If text message had been a thing at the time, we would have been able to do text blasts. We had push notifications enabled through our website. We had all these different kind of means to let people know that we were launching on the 5th. And on the 4th, what we'd basically do is we would shut down our website, we'd lock it with a password, and only people who had signed up to our wait list were sent the password.
Jeez.
So that created a really, like I said, strong, compelling reason to sign up each month.
That's crazy. It's crazy to me that this whole business model and basically how she said the strongest value proposition of the brand came out of literally just nothing, out of thin air, basically, out of their decision to launch on the 5th, and coincidentally they already had named the brand the 5th. That's actually so genius and creative in my opinion. That's what I really love about Shopify and just entrepreneurship in general, these stories that are so cool and they did something so original to stand out that actually worked out, because a lot of times people do original things and it doesn't work out. Obviously it's much easier to just piggyback on other people's success, but she did something totally unique and original, which I really, really respect. And I do think scarcity is undervalued in a lot of brands nowadays. I mean, you want to obviously continue to sell all the time, but especially for fashion brands, scarcity can actually be a huge asset to you, especially for stocking and stuff like that maybe. But yeah, let's keep going here.
Or you wouldn't even be able to access the store, let alone, buy a watch. For the first, I think it was 9 hours from midnight, Australian Eastern Standard Time, until 9 a.m. We'd kind of give our waitlist a head start on the store. And most of the time, as the months kind of progressed and went by, we were selling out almost instantly. It's some products would sell out in a minute or two. It was almost like a music festival or a concert where you stay up really late on Ticketek and keep refreshing until suddenly the tickets go online, or people are willing to line up around the whole block and wait all night to get something. Because we launched at midnight Australian time, people would literally set their alarms on their phone. That was one of our main methods of notifying people. It would be set your alarm, and that works for a lot of different brands. I even saw Mecca, which is a big makeup brand in Australia, one of their email subjects the other day was launch tomorrow, set your alarm, sort of thing. So I think once people have gone to kind of the effort of setting their alarm, waking up at an awkward hour especially, they're pretty likely to buy something. Our conversion rates for the first hour would be unheard of, 90% conversions, just crazy things like that.
That's crazy.
And as we were building up to our kind of $1 million day, I guess each month we understood that the more emails that we got, the more money that we ended up making in the following month. When I was building Skinny Me Tea, I just kept focusing on the things that were working. So building a larger Instagram following meant that we were, when we were posting, we were making more sales and working with more and more influencers. At the 5th, we worked with influencers from day one. When we were ordering a sample of our watch, we actually ended up ordering 50 samples. Some of them didn't even work, but we sent them out to 30 influencers before we even launched the brand. And these were all either influencers who I had relationships with from already working with them with Skinny Me Tea, friends of mine that had reach, or influencers that just really kind of jumped at the idea of getting one of these watches early before everyone else. And so we had this great bank of content before we launched, which we could push out to our Instagram following, and a lot of hype and buzz. So we kind of let them know when we'd be launching, and if they could do a post that day, that would be like ideal. And so we had all these different influencers posting at the same time, generating all this hype, helping us build trust with a new brand. At the same time, we had 70,000 followers, which, as I said, we converted about 8,800 across into our email subscribers who were all there just to buy watches. So a lot of the time, brands that are launching might kind of kid themselves with their metrics a little bit. They're like, I've got 1,000 signups, like it's going to be fine. But you have to be sure that they're warm leads. Like if they've signed up to win a pair of Nike runners and then you're selling watches, they have a much lower intent to purchase. So if you're really serious about building a wait list, you really need to make sure that their strong intent is to purchase your product. Otherwise, it's probably just, you're just going to be paying more to send an email out to them through your host. That was a big tip. I know that a board short company that I was involved with before we launched, we did a few big giveaways, like for a GoPro and all this stuff. We had 16,000 email subscribers before we launched, and it did nowhere near as well as the 5th on day one, because they were there to win a GoPro. They weren't there to buy board shorts. Even if you've selected the right prizes that are complementary to your category or brand, you still need to, at the end of the day, make sure that your wait list there to buy your product with a strong intent to purchase. That was day one, but amplifying that over the next 12 months, because our first birthday was actually our $1 million day. We did a lot of the same strategies, but just at a...
So 1 year into the brand's launch, they did their $1 million day. That's pretty crazy. I mean, this sort of business model is susceptible, I guess, to like a really big revenue day. But still, that's just crazy. That just baffles me.
A lot more scale. By this point, we were sending out to over 100 influencers a month, if not more. We had some influencers on content retainers. We had some influencers that we were paying to post as well. We were testing YouTube influencers too. One of the biggest campaigns that we ran before this was a viral giveaway. So we used this platform called Gleam, and we were able to generate 80,000 emails in the space of 14 days, just giving away 14 watches, which probably to us was like less than a $200 investment in terms of product. And then we were just using my combined reach on Instagram. I've built up 16 million followers across all of my different Instagram profiles, and we were able to kind of use those profiles to target and drive traffic into our main brand profile and put posts and shout outs up about the giveaway as well to help kind of proliferate it. But at the same time, we made sure that we built a lot of virality into the giveaway. So
that's cool. So she already had some theme pages that she used for building these brands, but she didn't just like promote her products on the pages. Instead, she made like a giveaway sign up form type deal to post on those pages as like a fun thing for the followers, and converted those followers into new followers for the brand. That's 1,000 IQ move right there. Wow.
Each time somebody entered the giveaway, they were then able to share that giveaway in a lot of different ways to earn more points throughout the giveaway. So the more points you earned, like each point was one entry. So say you had like 200 points by the end of it, and you'd like shared the post 5 times or tweeted it or, performed all these other actions, then you'd have, 200 times the chance of winning to someone that had entered once and just signed up with their email. So that was the way that Gleam sort of worked. But what it was really helpful for was helping convert a lot of those kind of idle followers into email subscribers. Right. But then even though they didn't necessarily have like a huge intent to buy in, that they were there to, well, they were there to win a watch. So they had more of an intent to buy than if they were there to win a pair of like Nikes or something.
Yeah, it was relevant.
But even though they didn't necessarily have a huge intent to buy, they knew our brand. They were well positioned to become a purchaser at some stage because they already had, you know, front of mind recognition. You know, if they're thinking of gifting, if they're thinking of purchasing a new watch in general, or if they want to buy like another watch that's a complementary product, then they're able to go about it in that way. Those 80,000 leads, even though I said they weren't that warm, they probably took like a month or two to warm up through our email sequences. And this giveaway was actually held like 2.5 months before December the 5th, which was our $1 million day. So that was a big one too. We also started retargeting to a lot of this traffic. So we hadn't done really any paid ads. We partnered up with a company that helped us with our retargeting at the time. I wouldn't necessarily use an agency these days. I'd rather kind of hire that person in-house. But at the time we had no idea what we were doing, and it was pretty low-hanging fruit because these people had already, you know, visited our website, engaged with certain pages. We had different retargeting sequences for if they'd reached obviously like the product page, or if they'd reached the...
By the way, if you don't have the money to hire somebody to run Facebook ads, learn how to run Facebook ads yourself. I have a video on this. It'll be right here or right here. I don't even know, but I went really hard on it. It's really simple. I made it so that anybody could run Facebook ads, or at least start running Facebook ads, and I think you guys will love it. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already, but let's continue.
Checkout, there'd be a higher intent to buy, or if they bounced off the homepage, we wouldn't retarget them at all. So there was a few different sequences that we had running, and that really helped as well. We were getting like 20 times return on ad spend for the warmer audiences, or the people that didn't finish checkout through like abandoned cart sequences and things like that. So we had now finally kind of combined like organic social with paid influencers and paid advertising, and the result was explosive. So that was the build up. Paid advertising.
So organic social plus paid influencers plus paid ads. Boom, that's the winning combo right there. A lot of people just go for the paid ads, you and I probably, but we need to really focus on those other two things too, especially if you're trying to really build a big brand, especially because the paid influencers give you so much social proof and trust, and also reach and sales. And then the organic social is like how you stay super profitable, and paid ads is to reach even more people. This is awesome.
And the result was explosive. So that was the build up to our $1 million day. And if you did like this video, if you found it helpful in any way, or if you'd like to see more, do be sure to subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment below letting us know.
Our channel,
which
is
part
she a part of Founder Magazine?
The most. So if you want to get more tips like this and find out more about my story and background, you can check out the link below, which is our free e-commerce masterclass. See you in there.
The Founder Mission.
There you go. Okay, well, of course, make sure you go follow Greta if you haven't already. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely learned a lot of things from this particular one. That was very inspiring. All I want to do now is just go send out products to influencers and just really maximize our organic reach. Paid ads are honestly the easy part. The other two things are the harder ones in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you learned anything, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the channel. Just let me know anything in the comments. I'm trying to have conversations with you guys in there. Honestly, I use my comment section as like a Reddit thread or Twitter thread or anything like that, because it's a really good way to communicate, and it really helps my videos out a lot as well. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I love you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.